They're probably waiting for me to load in right now. I did not actually get the chance to do a quick bot game to ensure very quick load. But that should be okay. It will go in the end. And I can start recording things soon. Alright, so we're waiting on one more to load in. And while we're here, I'm going to quickly introduce the teams because I will probably forget after the draft, but I'll try to do it then as well. So on Enclave, we have Brit Saint, Baggins, Yell, Patty Bow, and XZZ. On the Dire, or Megalodon, we have Atara, Hit the Wand, GDR, Mexican Thunder, and Kernick. And I really should have asked how to pronounce their names, and that was a mistake. I'm so sorry for anyone watching if I mispronounce your name, mispronounce the team name, or say anything that is just wrong. I try to be correct, but I am no linguist. Someone who studies linguistics, so I do make mistakes, and if I do, please correct me. I take this very seriously, and I know it must get really annoying for people watching to hear a name mispronounced over and over again, but now we're finally in the game, and starting with Enclave have the first pick.
Radiant team ban.
Invoker did actually get nerfed just yesterday, both his starting armor, attack speed, and deafening blast all receiving pretty fair nerfs. It's a lot easier to trade with him in lane now, and definitely it's harder to pull off the combo. It's 100 more mana, and it's a pretty steep price. But Invoker is still banned out first by Team Enclave. The hero is still good, still really annoying, and those nerfs I don't think were nearly as bad as, say, the Chen nerfs. But we still may see Chen banned, as a lot of people are still really afraid of this hero, and he's clawed his way back into the meta.
10 seconds remaining.
So Megalodon taking some time to think about this, and they take out Lone Druid, another hero extremely popular right now. A lot of people were questioning whether giving him Savage Roar would be a real change, but I think that plus the scaling on Bear and possibly even a little bit Iron Talon helping him catch up and farm if he is unable to find lane farm.
10 seconds remaining.
But these two heroes both very popular and definitely very strong right now and have been played to great success in both amateur and professional leagues.
Reserve time.
Still in the pool, there is the Chen and the Gyrocopter, but they ban out the Earthshaker, another very popular hero. He pressures your mid lane a lot, and actually speaking of an early game pressure hero, we have Undying taken out. This hero has actually still managed to stay in the meta despite his nerfs, but Team Enclave picking up Death Prophet first, a hero that has been highly valued in the North American scene mostly, it feels like, from what I've watched, but definitely a hero that sees play all over the world in the competitive scene. And Slardar, another hero who, a relic of 6.85, still very strong. The amp damage is just so good, and this hero does not need anything really to come online besides level 6 or 7 for max crush and a blink dagger. The damage he does thanks to amp damage is very good, and I actually think it's good that they picked it up against Enclave. Death Prophet is a naturally pretty fragile hero until she gets items, and if you can kill her while her ult is going, especially since now that she has the heal from her Spirit Siphon ability, it could be really meaningful and could change the pace of these fights. Not to mention, Enclave could have picked it up and it would have been very strong with their draft. And there's Vengeful Spirit for Megalodon. This hero also extremely popular, sometimes in the carry role, but I suspect this will be a support. And now there's just so much minus armor that Megalodon are going to take Roche very quickly and burst down any unlucky hero to get hit by the amp damage very quickly. So Enclave are going to need to find some way to mitigate this minus armor a little bit. Dazzle might help a little. Oracle also would be very good. I believe he can purge off the debuff, at least the amp damage. Plus his ultimate functions very similarly to a Dazzle Shallow Grave, and I think Oracle's pretty good with the Death Prophet. Her healing, she has a lot of self-healing, and that could make her very difficult to burst down in these fights. So Enclave could pick up the Oracle if they want something like that. I think it would be good against the Slardar, good against the Venge. Not just for the minus armor, but it would also... The root is good, the magic immunity is good, and yeah, there's the Oracle. I think this is a really good, really smart pick from Enclave. I really like this pick. And once again, the stream is on a 2-minute delay, so I will try to interact with chat, but I may fail to do so. So there's the Oracle, and that was a really smart pick. And right
10
now,
seconds remaining.
with the thing that you can't underestimate though
5
is
seconds remaining.
Nether Swap. Can a good swap can single-handedly win you the game. I think it's probably smart to ban out the Ember here. This here is very annoying, and they actually don't have very good ways to deal with it. Although the death product physical damage is good, but still not that much really hard lockdown. Just the silence and the root, and if he gets a Manta style, he'll get out of that for free. And once he gets Travels and Battle Fury, if he gets it in a timely fashion, Manta style would not take that long to farm up, and it would take barely any time to get a Chrysalis right after that.
5
So
seconds remaining.
Juggernaut also banned out. Would have actually been a pretty good pickup against Megalodon, I think, although it might have struggled a little bit against the Slardar. Just all that minus armor is just crippling. Gyrocopter taken out. That hero is just a safe
Dire
pick.
team banned.
But for picks, I like the Oracle, but now you need to have some, like... Oracle doesn't... He doesn't make kills happen on his own, I don't think. I mean, to be fair, he does have massive burst damage with Purifying Flames hitting
10 seconds remaining.
freakishly hard at max rank, going up by 90 every rank. That's just
5
insane.
seconds remaining.
And it's only on a 2.5 second cooldown, but... And if you time the purge correctly, you can get rid of the heal.
Reserve time.
But I think they need some support, like some aggressive support, maybe, or even some more hard lockdown, because the root doesn't stop people from casting spells. He can disarm, but it makes them magic immune. So perhaps Enclave could go, since Venge has been taken, they could go like Rubik might not be bad. You can steal Magic Missile, you can steal Nether Swap if you're quick, steal Amp Damage, steal Crush, plus the Lift. And then they could also take Bane. But there are a lot of ways to cancel the Bane's Fiend's Grip. A Blink Crush, a Swap, more importantly, I think. So it might not be the best. And Sven actually banned out. And Ancient Apparition is a super smart pick for Megalodon. It hard count, it prevents all of the Death Prophet healing, it prevents the Oracle healing. Really, really, really good pick for Megalodon. And that's actually going to put a huge dent in Enclave's ability to take these fights. That's once the AA hits 6. Like, a big strength of Death Prophet is that she's so hard to kill because of her healing. A big strength of the Oracle is he can heal his teammates up. But it's going to be so hard to do that now up against the
10
AA.
seconds
His Ice
remaining.
Blast only on a 40-second cooldown, and it's not until max rank of the
5
Oracle ult, I
seconds
believe,
remaining.
that it's actually shorter. So every time Oracle's ult will be up for the majority of this game, Ancient
Reserve
Apparitions
time.
will be as well, completely nullifying one of the most important facets of his ultimate. Although the Oracle ult will still save you from shattering, it loses its saving component. Almost entirely, actually. Not even almost entirely, but now there's no way the healing will outdo the damage because the duration mirrors it. I think it's 8 seconds for this. The Frostbit duration is 8, 9, 10, and the duration of this is 7, 8, 9, so at every stage of the game, Ancient Apparitions ult will last longer than this Oracle's, completely negating the strength of this hero. So very good pickup for Megalodon, and now Enclave, that might have thrown him for a bit of a loop, and it probably would have been better to ban that out over the Ember Spirit, but I do like the Disruptor.
Dire team pick.
You can glimpse back the Slardar if he blinks in. The Silence to hopefully prevent the AA blast from coming out if it's a close range blast when a team fight breaks out. But still... And the kinetic field is good. The vision that the Thunderstrike provides is good. So it's a decent support, but I don't know... So far, if it's AA and Venge versus Oracle and Disruptor, I actually really, really like Megalodon's support duo a lot more.
5 seconds remaining.
And Death Prophet is going to struggle pretty hard mid just thanks to the AA, especially if they dedicate some farm to the AA, give him some of that free time so that he can find a reasonably timed level 6 and possibly even find a Hand of Midas to hit level 11. So Megalodon is still looking for their mid hero and possibly another support or carry. It's kind of hard to tell. It feels like Venge is going to be one of their supports, but with all this minus armor, they could pick her as a carry. So the mids that are left is, well, I mean, there's the Doom, so this Venge is definitely a support. It's kind of hard to pick out. It could be a safe lane Slardar. I'd actually really like to see an aggro try for Megalodon, like Slardar Venge AA. Easy setup for the Cold Feet. Tons of burst damage, and that could be pretty fierce, and you run the Doom in the off. Or possibly, I guess this could be a Doom mid, but I doubt it. Enclave looking for a carry, and I think something not vulnerable to the Doom. Spectre might not be that
10
bad.
seconds remaining.
Their Anti-Mage, I think, would just suffer.
5
I don't
seconds
think this is an
remaining.
Anti-Mage game. Gyro's taken out of the pool.
Reserve time.
How about... No, PA, too much magic damage, and the amp damage would ruin her. Ember gone, Sven gone, Jug's gone. Razor, that's going to be their safe lane. And I actually think that's a good choice. It's a tanky hero, doesn't rely on healing, but he could forgo the mech build since they're playing up against an AA, and you don't want to put too much into this healing kind of draft when you're playing
10
against
seconds
AA.
remaining.
Because one good Ice Blast ruins your team's strength. So the Razor could just go S and Y into like Ags Refresher or like BKB Ags then Refresher, and they could just try to push with their Death Prophet and Razor. As even though they have the Ice Blast, the defense of Megalodon is not
10 seconds remaining.
amazing. Their wave clear is okay. Although Venge and AA, since they are the support duo, offer very limited wave clear. Slardar would have to get close, and Doom would also have to get pretty close unless he takes like a Satyr, which is only okay, to stop this push. And that could be what Enclave want to do now, since it's going to be
10 seconds
it's going to be
remaining.
extremely difficult to fight into Megalodon's lineup.
5 seconds
Your
remaining.
heroes are going to melt in a straight up fight with with Ice Blast plus all of this minus armor. Heroes are going to disappear. Plus the Doom. They could Doom up the... Probably Disruptor is the right choice. I think Oracle is very effectively nullified thanks to the AA. But if you're afraid of his other abilities, like the Disarm, then you could take him down. Or if the AA Blast is gone and you just want to prevent any healing coming out. Because it's kind of worthless to Doom a Razor or a Death Prophet. In the last two bans, by the way,
10
Tidehunter
seconds
and
remaining.
Wraith King. Wraith King would have been a pretty good carry for Megalodon, I think. But I think they're
5
looking for
seconds
their mid
remaining.
now. And Tidehunter... Enclave do need their offlaner,
Reserve time.
and if they get a good, they do have a good team fight combo, so it's a fair ban. Although the long cooldown of Ravage is really what's preventing Tidehunter from coming back into this meta. And I apologize, my Dota TV sound was off
10 seconds
this
remaining.
whole game. I apologize for anyone watching in Dota TV. And there's the Shadow Fiend. That hero complements their draft. It's more minus armor. It can go... It scales decently. And I mean, Razor and Death Prophet don't scale that great. So Shadow Fiend doesn't have to worry about being outscaled by a hero like a PA. And Enclave, I think they could go for a Clockwork if they really want to force these fights. Sometimes people do offlane Pugna, but it's not that good hero. And I mean, it helps with the push. But Darkseer, also an available hero. Two good mech carriers on Enclave, but I'm curious to see if they'll just choose to forego it. I don't know if it's worth it to forsake it entirely, but Razor shouldn't be the one to build it, I think. I think Darkseer could get it, but I think Razor should go S and Y and do an early battle build. Just try to be tanky and try to be in the midst of the fight. So, of these two drafts, I think they're both very good drafts, actually. Although the AA is going to be really harmful in these once he hits 6 in these team fights, and I think it's going to be up to Enclave to maximize their time before the AA hits 6. Get good farm, get good items, maybe try to get a couple towers, and just fight around this Ice Blast. Because once they're hit by Ice Blast, I really think if they have the chance, they should just not fight. It's gonna really hinder a large strength of theirs, being the Oracle and the Death Prophet healing, just two heroes that are hard to kill or make your team hard to kill. So we do have a pause. And I'm just going to introduce these teams. So if I slightly favor a draft, I slightly favor Megalodon. They have really good early game. They have good tools to deal with everything on the side of Enclave. And, like, just the Razor's going to lose a lot of tankiness thanks to all the minus armor on the side of Megalodon. But I think it's up to Enclave to win these lanes in order to win the game. I think if it goes really late, Megalodon will outscale them. So... Gonna quickly introduce these teams. GDR are playing the Doom. Atara Zia playing the Slardar. Hit the Wand playing Shadow Fiend. Kernick playing Ancient Apparition. And Mexican Thunder playing Vengeful Spirit. And on the side of Enclave, XCZ is playing the Darkseer. Brit Saint playing Death Prophet. It's pretty set, by the way. Patty Bow on the Oracle. Baggins playing Razor, and Yell on the Disruptor. It's a pretty cool courier, I guess. But anyway, so neither team seems to have started with a smoke. Actually, Vengeful Spirit holding on to a smoke, but looks like it's going to be a 4-man smoke if they do choose to smoke up at all. And offlane Doom, and it does look like this is going to be their aggro tri-lane, and I think this is the right choice. Darkseer is going to have a very, very hard time up against these heroes. And when we look at the Shadow Fiend versus the Death Prophet matchup, I think it's fairly even. Although Death Prophet started 2 Fairy Fires and a Null Tally, so she has a lot higher damage than the Shadow Fiend. But both heroes have really good flash farming capabilities with Shadow Raise and Crypt Swarm. So, should be a pretty even mid lane. Slardar standing in the back. No one's pointed anything up yet. It's probably the right choice. I think Cold Feet could be the right choice if they don't go for a kill here. XEZ might... XEZ shouldn't have much to fear since Slardar isn't in position there for this rune. And he's probably just going to back off once he sees these heroes. Yeah, he's just going to give up this rune, and Shadow Fiend gets top, and Death Prophet gets bot. So, both mid heroes grabbing a bounty rune, and should be pretty even. Now, as for this Doom, I don't think he has too much to fear in this lane. I mean, this hero, if he finds a Satyr or finds a Wildkin, he's going to be extremely beefy. So, and there's not a lot of damage going to be coming out of Disruptor and Oracle right away. I think as they gain levels, yes, the damage will be decent, but Razor isn't the best right clicker early until he finds some points in Static Link. So, Doom should be okay, although he does have 0 armor right now and might be in trouble, but it looks like they're just going to try to zone him out. And this Darkseer just also getting zoned out pretty hard here by these supports. This aggro tri, very difficult to play up against, and Doom taking some harass, and it's going to be pretty annoying for him, but I think Doom will catch up. Both of these offlaners can catch up. I mean, Darkseer can farm the offlane and it'll be fine, or farm the jungle and we'll find some farm thanks to his Ion Shell anyway. And there's Doom finding the Wildkin or Wild Wing Ripper. The bonus armor going to be pretty good for him here and really reduce the impact of this right click harass coming out from the supports of Enclave. Getting purged up, but looks like he should be fine. Just gonna get harassed a little bit and ultimately will walk away, but might be in trouble now. Is linked up. Static Field is ready. He does get guns back, and now he's trapped. He may have really well played from Enclave. I wasn't expecting him to find the kill there, but it does end up happening thanks to a good glimpse and a good kinetic field. Well played from them, and the first put on the Rage is going to be really helpful, but Doom, again, I think will be okay even if he loses this lane. Because he has Devour, he will find some gold, some farm, some XP. Darkseer claims top rune, and let me check last hits. So Death Prophet, already pretty well outlasting the Shadow Fiend. Razor also farming up decently. Slardar, though, has very good farm as well, but at only 2 minutes, it's not huge, but Death Prophet last hitting very, very well with 11 already. Looks like there's another pull, and Doom hanging off to the side, maybe going to try to steal another creep, but gets zoned out by the kinetic field. Doesn't want to risk getting picked off again, although it looks like Oracle is lurking in mid, smoked up, getting ready to try to go on the Shadow Fiend. He's out of mana, slowed up now with rank 2 Crypt Swarm. This could be bad for him. They're charging up the route all the way, and it's going to be a quick, easy kill for Enclave's mid lane, but Doom getting zapped up, but not losing that much damage yet, although it's starting to escalate. This Doom having a very hard time. Maybe he's looking for something to devour. That's what it feels like. He's going to try to devour something, but the death of Shadow Fiend is going to be pretty costly for Megalodon, and this is how Enclave needs their game to be going. They need to just be winning their lanes, and they need to find all the farm that they need. Oracle shows up, and he might find another kill here thanks to this long duration route, charged up all the way, and maybe the healing, but no, not quite enough. Vengeful Spirit unable to rotate in time. Another kill on this Doom, and Razor really dominating this lane. This was really not the lane that I expected, but I suppose if I thought about it, I could have... It's a lot easier for me now to see that this Doom would lose the lane down here. Things not looking that good for Megalodon right now. The Venge has been rotated bot lane to probably protect this Doom, or maybe she's leaving now. She does have 2 Sentry wards. Death Prophet finds a bounty rune. There's an Invis rune bottom. Shadow Fiend seems to be struggling in the mid. Actually has to ferry himself out a salve for fear of being picked off by this Death Prophet. Darkseer, now that Venge isn't there, a lot less afraid. And that's how he should be playing. Now that Venge is gone, there's not... They have the Crush, but there's no point in Cold Feet yet, so there's not a lot of kill potential here for Megalodon's aggro try, and oh, this is going to be another kill, but it isn't like they're quite able to get in range, and Shadow Fiend going to get very, very slight healing from this Oracle. Vengeful Spirit trying to stack up for her Shadow Fiend mid, and this is what they need to do considering how poorly the lanes are going right now. I mean, Shadow Fiend is 10 less CS, 9 less CS, then 10 less CS, or 8 less CS than the Death Prophet, but can still flash farm pretty well. And even though the creeps now have the aura, and is this going to be a double pull? Because that would be pretty good for a team. Yes, it is. And this camp doesn't have any magic resist auras, so Shadow Fiend can still farm that up very, very quickly with a triple raise, especially once it's level 7. So good play from Megalodon. They can come back into this game because Razor scales decently. Death Prophet falls off a little bit late, especially if she goes Bloodstone instead of Octarine Core, but Octarine Core has more or less replaced the Bloodstone in the standard Death Prophet build. Doom still with the Wild Wing aura, although perhaps a Satyr might serve him a bit better. That health regen is pretty good, but perhaps worried about the burst damage than the sustained. Vengeful Spirit sitting mid now, perhaps trying to protect her Shadow Fiend. A little worried about another Oracle gank, because that last one was very, very close. Looks like XZZ got himself a little bit low. Doom being chased down by the Disruptor. 2 points in Glimpse. They can glimpse him back, and they do. He's now caught inside the field. And with nowhere to go, he's going to try to TP out, but does he make it? No cancel, and barely able to TP out. Well played from GDR. He needed to TP out. I think if he had TP'd any later, he very well could have died. But well played, preventing another free kill for the Razor. So the Razor ult has now been committed as well. Perhaps he's going to go check this camp out, try to get some XP, get some gold with Devour, and ultimately ignores the camp, but goes back and devours a small creep so he can keep his armor aura, and that was probably the right choice. Bot lane being pushed in by Enclave. They're just going to fort. I don't think they're going to rotate anyone. It doesn't look like it. Doom is only level 5, so has been zoned out decently. Although Darkseer only level 4. But what may be more worrisome is the supports on Megalodon are only level 3. I think this AA and Venge both need to find levels because both of their ultimates are very important. Doom gonna hit 6 in this next wave, so Doom is now online. So perhaps he can go find some pickoffs. And AA zoning out this Darkseer, preventing him from farming up this pole camp. Death Prophet gonna have to be careful, but should be fine. Not quite in range to find the kill there. It would have been a really good kill for them, but unfortunately not going to find it. And Brit Saint making the right play, backing off as soon as he sees the Vengeful Spirit hiding up high ground. Enclave sitting 3 here was bot once again. Disruptor halfway to level 5. Oracle also about halfway to level 5. I think it's really important that they find the level 6 on the Ancient Apparition. That hero is like instrumental for them for winning team fights when they do start. Is level 4 and able to freely soak up XP down here. Doom doing okay, and Death Prophet with an invis bottled. Perhaps she goes to try to make a play or just goes back to mid. Not going to quite activate it yet, and since she doesn't have mana, that's definitely what she wants to do, just wait. But Oracle now sitting in mid, but pinged out. They did spot him through the trees, and they should avoid this gank. Oracle has hit level 5, Disruptor not quite yet. Doom devouring a creep. So lane's going pretty stagnantly, although this Slardar very, very well farmed, already level 8, doing a very good job, and if he gets a blink soon, then it could change a lot of the pace of the game for Megalodon. I don't think they're down and out, they're just having a hard time in some of these lanes. They did poorly in the off lane, although Doom did still find a timely level 6 and is level 7 now actually, and mid did die twice, although Shadow Fiend caught up very nicely and going to be able to claim this stack to possibly even get ahead of this Death Prophet. Yeah, very quickly cleaned up that stack, and that'll bring him back into the game. Now actually ahead of the last hits of this Death Prophet now, although she will be ahead of him on net worth thanks to the kills. Death Prophet looking bot lane. They really want this Doom, and I think they're going to have him, but he is backing off. He senses something's up, but is hanging back now, so this might just be some wasted time for Enclave, and that's really, really good for Megalodon. And by the way, I do apologize for the desert terrain. I meant to turn it off, but I didn't expect to be casting this game. Not to say that I'm not very happy to. Doom now has the net, so perhaps they look to get aggressive now. Shadow Fiend pinging out this tier 1 tower. Vengeful Spirit probably has wards on the way, perhaps for boots. She has boots on the way. AA still only level 4, a little over halfway to level 5. Shadow Fiend grabbing this bounty rune. Vengeful Spirit still sitting on top of some sentry wards. And curious to see where she's going to place them. This Slardar having a very, very good game, and this could be worrisome for Enclave. The hero doesn't need items to get ahead, but if he gets them, that's no less scary. It's like a group effort to take down this stack.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Slardar all alone in top, just finding some farm, and only about 350 gold away. Looks like Enclave are grouping up and want to claim this tier 1. Megalodon look as if they're just going to let it go and find stuff elsewhere on the map, make some more stacks, and get their other heroes farm and levels. Probably the right choice. This tower is going to die very, very quickly thanks to the Death Prophet. Doom, they did choose not to defend, but Enclave with still a fair bit of duration left on this Death Prophet ult might look for the T2, and this is something that if Megalodon give it up very early could be pretty damaging. I mean, losing the dire Roche advantage is pretty serious. So they're going to try to trade a tier 1 and not even going to fortify their tier 2. So good push from Enclave, finding themselves 2 free towers. Good first use of the Death Prophet ult, and now rotating mid to try to defend their tier 1, but they may not find anything. Vengeful Spirit getting glimpsed back, and that's probably going to be her life. Trying to TP out, but unfortunately too much damage, not quite able to make it. Slardar now here, has his Blink Dagger, drops a Crush, but gets siphoned up and taking a lot of damage. Megalodon not quite able to find their first kill of the game yet, and I think they should just be patient and find the AA level 6. Will be crucial to bursting down these heroes with all this healing. But Enclave may be able to snowball themselves to victory here. Death Prophet very, very close to her Yule Scepter. Gonna be hard to run away from her then. And yeah, Darkster's gonna go mech, that's pretty standard. Vengeful still also only level 5, going for the max magic missile build for a little bit more burst. And against a team with so much healing, that's probably fair. Razor got drums and is actually going the SNY build first. This is I think this is the right choice. Don't devote too much in just being able to self-heal, and just go for sustained damage and some tankiness so you can survive the burst. Because there's a lot of burst on Megalodon. All that minus armor plus the AA blast, the magic missile, the crush, the raises. Lots of burst damage. Four heroes sitting mid for both teams. A little bit of time wasted on both sides. I think Shadow Fiend could probably rotate and take this stack and this stack. Damage coming out. Slardar gets glimpsed back up to his little high ground and drops the amp damage on the Oracle, who I believe just purges it off himself and continues on with his day. Shadow Fiend looks like he's going for a Sage first. That seems a little bit desperate to me. Perhaps just feels he needs the tankiness, and I mean, I think he does, but I would have figured he would go Mechanism. That would have been, or yeah, so this is like a Sage. Death Prophet ult dropped again, and this mid T1 probably going to go down very, very soon. Shadow Fiend is firing up the jungle, and they're going to let that go, but still a lot of duration left on this Death Prophet ult. I don't think they can let so many towers go so soon into the game. They're losing so much map control like this. They do fortify for this tower, but Ancient Apparition nowhere to be found. Very close to 6. Finally has his level 6. May fire his blast, and that might be the cue for Megalodon to go in. Looks like this is going to be something, so Doom comes out on the Oracle, unable to get his ult. Good 2-man crush, and it looks like this is going to be some cleanup here. The A blast is going to cause so much damage, and the swap back, and really good defense from Megalodon. That AA blast doing exactly the kind of damage they need it to do. The Doom forcing Oracle back, and not able to save any of his teammates. And even if he hadn't been doomed, it may not have mattered in the end. It's like Megalodon find their first kills and first tower of the game in a huge team fight, swinging the gold graph right back down towards them. Really well played from Kernick. That was his first AA blast of the game, and it was everything that his team needed. And perhaps they try Roshan, or perhaps just rotate the bot lane. They are all pretty low, but Rosh definitely something that could be in the cards for Megalodon with all this minus armor. And now, with the Vladimir's offering finished up on the Doom, it might not take that long at all to find that Rosh kill.
Thank you so much.
Adventure Spirit also has swap. I believe she showed it off in that last fight, swapping back the Death Prophet. Razor closing in on his Yasha, though. Take a peek at net worth. Shadow Fiend has clawed his way to the top, and that's just the strength of Shadow Fiend when his supports stack up the jungle for him.
Gold is a great conductor.
Looks like Enclave really want to defend this tower. Death Prophet ult cooling down in 10. A blast is ready. Shadow Fiend has his Sage on the way. Yep, he's going SNY with the Sage first because he does not feel tanky enough. He's in trouble now. He already bought his Sage, but trying to swap back to defend him, and no glimpse back. So Requiem doing a lot of damage. Oracle could be in trouble, but Shadow Fiend getting siphoned away, but the Oracle healing barely, but no, the Crypt Swarm comes out and finds the kill. His item was delivered to him in the end, and they lose both their Shadow Fiend and their Vengeful Spirit in the end. Poor positioning from the Shadow Fiend, and good rotation and team play from Enclave. Atara has to be a little bit careful, and Enclave trying to deny the Rosh to Megalodon and using the Death Prophet to do it, so they could kill this very, very quickly. It's already dying very fast, and no heroes are in the area to contest, so looks like the Rosh is gonna go the way of Enclave, but if the AA blast goes to Scout, they could be in trouble. It's on the way. This could be bad. They could even lose heroes thanks to this. The crush and the blast on 3, this could be terrible. They might even lose more. It looks like Disruptor going to be beat once by the Slardar to pop. Death Prophet using herself to survive, barely able to survive, and this Rosh already mostly dead, and Megalodon might try to get it in the end. They could kill it very, very quickly, and this AA, his blast just doing work for his team, securing one team fight, and now stopping a Rosh attempt. And it is pinged out by the Ancient Apparition. They might want to go for it. They know the Death Prophet ultimate is down, and their AA blast is cooling off, so they can take a fight, but have to be wary of the back wall. Looks like this is going to be Roshan for them. Wave of Terror and Amp Damage ready. This Rosh is going to die very, 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 very quickly. Enclave on the way to contest, but not going to be able to. Shadow Fiend with the Aegis now. This Ancient Apparition just... Not only was it a good pick, he's playing very well, and his blasts have hit on so many heroes. Just instrumental. The game momentum just shifted completely, although Enclave didn't have a huge lead in the laning phase. They did have an advantage, but their laning stage advantage basically nullified by this Ancient Apparition now. Shadow Fiend and Slaughter are now topping the net worth and most CS. Death Prophet has fallen behind a lot in her farm. Enclave smoked up, looking for a kill, perhaps trying to get this Slardar. He is getting glimpsed back and now locked in, but hit by the Static Storm, unable to blink away, trying to find his way out, gets purged up, and this is going to be his life for sure. Quick kill and a tower deny for Enclave. Although Doom now with his drums, and they have the Aegis. Shadow Fiend still no SNY, but won't be long before he has it. With the Vlad's Aura and Drums Aura, they're going to be pushing very, very fast and dishing out some serious damage. Not to mention, he has the attack speed aura of the Hellbear. So Doom just going the aura up build, and Death Prophet going to be sacrificed here. Unless she's able to get, Death Prophet. Sorry, Vengeful Spirit going to be sacrificed, not Death Prophet, but it looks like she's going to be sacrificed too, and in fact, Vengeful Spirit might be able to walk out, trying to bait some heroes into the blast, and really well played, and Yell gets baited into the Ice Blast, and so now it's a 2-for-1 now, but Doom could be the next hero to go down, but without Glimpse, they might not find him, although Purge is ready, but no follow-up damage, and all the while, Megalodon pushing this top tower. Slardar back. Good win on Midas, which I find a little bit interesting. Curious. I wonder what his reasoning was for that. He was already pretty ahead, perhaps just trying to get level 16, get a full level advantage, and maybe some slight item advantage over the enemy heroes before he goes anywhere. Lots of auras. That's pretty significant. I mean, let's see. Drums gives an attack speed aura of 25%. Swiftness aura gives 15%. Vlad's gives 20% damage, 10% lifesteal. Morbid Mask gives how much lifesteal? Morbid Mask, 15%. So the gold value of Doom's auras, it's kind of hard for me to say exactly, but I would put it around 4k. Just the damage aura and the lifesteal aura is the same as the Morbid Mask. That's 900. Drums is about 1500. So maybe 3.3k. Although the damage, you can't. It's hard to value that. And it looks like Force Staff to save the Slardar. But wait, who Force Staffed him? The Vengeful Spirit actually finishing up a Force Staff. I didn't even notice that, but AA Blast was committed to try to save, but not a long cooldown spell, so I doubt it's gonna really matter that they don't have their AA Blast ready. So the heroes of Megalodon suddenly becoming very difficult to kill, and the heroes of Enclave starting to feel distressingly squishy. Saint Yasha also not complete on this Razor. He's pretty close though. Death Prophet, this is gonna be a soul booster, and I imagine Octarine Core for more ultimate uptime, but the healing component of it gonna be nullified. And it's good that she did the Vit booster first. She needs the health to survive all of this burst, although she's just gonna get blown up really quickly thanks to the AA Blast. Slardar going for a Assault Cuirass. Ancient Apparition has Glimmer Cloak. That'll be a pretty good item to save his teammates. There is dust on the Disruptor though. Disruptor probably also going Glimmer Cloak. Perhaps Aether Lens for ridiculously long-ranged glimpses. Aegis reclaimed in about a minute. SNY complete. Shadow Fiend now going for a BKB. Opposing heroes pinged out, and there's a high ground ward here, and I don't think this shouldn't see the ancients. It does. Okay. Slardar in trouble now, gets siphoned up and forced back and glimpsed back. Thanks to the vision provided by Courage, she starts TPing immediately. Are they going to be able to cancel it? The vacuum does cancel the Slardar TP, so well played from Enclave, but now the Death Prophet has been committed. They need to find more with it. Its cooldown is very, very long. Both of these heroes of Megalodon probably need to start thinking about getting out. Shadow Fiend has no TP, and Requiem comes out, hitting on two heroes. Silence up now, but looks like they're both going to go down pretty quickly. And the Aegis reclaimed it right that moment, but I think he would have just died twice anyway. So this Death Prophet ult not entirely wasted, or at least not entirely used for one kill, and I feel like she's actually going Rod of Atos, which probably a decent item. I mean, Kite the Doom forever, and SNY now finished on Razor. Shadowfiend still topping the net worth by about 800 gold. GDR going Shiva's Guard, unless Slardar's going to Shiva's Guard. I suppose that's possible. AA Blast on the way, trying to zone out the heroes of Enclave, but going to miss. So they should be able to claim that tower. Shadowfiend respawning soon, though. So XP advantage is pretty in favor of Megalodon. Gold advantage, only 2k in favor of Megalodon. So this game is very, very close right now. Both teams just have their strengths, but I think Megalodon need to get a good AA blast in order to win these fights. Like, all the healing that Enclave have will not matter if 3 of their heroes get hit by the AA blast, especially if it's like the Razor and the Death Prophet. If those 2 heroes are hit by AA blast, things become significantly more difficult for Enclave to win the fight. I mean, the Oracle will still keep them going for 8 seconds, but... Oh, Oracle barely dodging that Slardar gank. And gets spotted out. No Purge for 5. Back to slow them down, delay the push, and Oracle forcing himself down to the low ground. So, but is being chased up by the Slardar, who misses his crush in the end. Gets bashed up, and Slardar really wants this Oracle, but might be getting in the danger zone. Oracle ult committed, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to save him here. Yeah, this Oracle probably going to pop. Yes. So Mech committed, and the Oracle also committed for this to try to save him, but a lot of time used for Megalodon. Both teams now without any tier 1 towers, although Enclave with all their T2 standing and a smoke gank coming from Megalodon. They have all of their tools ready. Doom, Crush, Amp Damage, Swap. Looks like they really want this. Death Prophet is forced to have in position to Crush. She does dodge and does get hit by the AA Blast, but good vacuum and a good defensive Yules, and now Slardar glimpsed up into the middle of the fight. Doom on the Razor, which I'm not sure about, and Doom going to go down in the end thanks to all that damage, but they did claim the Disruptor, but losing their Doom is pretty bad, and they're gonna lose more, I think. But Death Prophet, Revenge, unable to TP, gets bursted down by the Oracle. Shadowfiend just gonna walk away from that, very close to his BKB, and not the time for him to die, so good attempt from Megalodon, but unfortunately missing up their chain stun a little bit, and perhaps going a little bit deep, trying to fight so close to the tower, knowing that they could just TP here and be there, and unfortunately the heroes of Enclave were well positioned to respond to that gank. So Goldcraft now almost even with less than a 1k lead for Megalodon. This game is extremely close, and I think Megalodon should wait for their BKB on their Shadowfiend and maybe... What's Doom going? Yeah, maybe wait for Shiva's on Doom. It won't take that long for Doom to get Shiva's with Devour. And quite possibly even wait for the next Roshan. It should be coming up in 3-ish minutes. 3 or 4.
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
Baggins probably also going to Assault Kiraz. Item progression on both teams. So Death Prophet finishing her Rod of Atosa, now perhaps going for a Octarine Core. Razor heading towards his Assault Kiraz. Disruptor has a Glimmer Cloak now. Oracle, Force Staff and Urn. Nothing else seems really inside unless he goes for a Medallion. And Guardian Greaves now finished on the Darkseer. So this AA Blast is going to become increasingly important as the game goes on. They really need to have a really strong AA Blast hit on multiple heroes so they can nullify the effectiveness of this healing. Without the healing, Enclave is a very, very squishy team. Assault Kiraz very close now for Slaughter, only about 1,000 gold away, and he needs to be careful. Gets Atos up, but blinks away instantly, and just going to safety. Roshan respawned now. There's an instant respawn, considering the possibilities, but I think whichever team sees this first will probably get it. Will Disruptor scout it while going for the bounty rune? No, he will not. If Mega find Roshan, they'll kill it very, very fast, with now max presence of the Dark Lord, and max amp damage, and max wave of terror, I assume. Yes, that Roche will not be around for long, and Venge going for a medallion, probably eventually a Solar Crest, so good, decent item progression for her. Take a peek at net worth. Razor still at top, Shadowfiend still at top, followed by Razor, and then Slardar. So Shadowfiend still taking the lead of his net worth and about 2k gold ahead of Brit Saint on his Death Prophet. But they do find the Roshan, although both teams have vision here. So this could be another failed Roche attempt. They ping it out. Perhaps they're afraid of this ward. Maybe they want to smoke up into it, but Megalodon gonna be thinking about that Roche now. Shiva's Guard soon for the Doom. BKB finished on Shadowfiend. He is level 16, and Slardar very, very close to 16. In fact, may find it from this camp. Yeah, it will find it from this camp, so amp damage going to be reducing armor by a whopping 20. The support heroes positioned very well from Enclave to try to respond to a jump and to prevent getting hit by a big AA blast. But the Prophet gets hit in the end, is going to be very quickly blown up. In fact, she dies before Oracle can even try to save her. Vacuum misses, and now the Oracle ult out on the Disruptor. Doom on Razor. Probably not the hero you want to Doom, but Shadowfiend fully healthy. Chasing up and just chunking away at these heroes with the kinetic field may save them in the end. So, Enclave losing their Death Prophet. Really good jump from Megalodon, and another good AA blast to find that kill. But Enclave need to be careful, and Patty Bow gets swapped out and dies in seconds. And Assault Cuirass now finished for Slardar. So not only will Roche die and these other heroes die very quickly, but now towers are going to start getting chunked away by Megalodon's lineup. So very patient play for Megalodon, not trying to get ahead of themselves, knowing that we need to get a pick, we need to get a good AA blast, find some kills, so maybe they go for this and then try to take the Roshan. Death Prophet respawning, no ult for 70 seconds, and Roshan being pinged out by Ancient Apparition. Kernick really wants to get that Roche, and his team, they have the team to do it. Roshan gonna be at really low armor from these heroes. This is the Dark Lord Roshan. It's sitting at 0 armor now. Sitting at really negative armor, just taking so much damage, dies before Enclave even get halfway there. So now the gold lead starting to slowly mount in favor of Megalodon, taking back that 4k gold lead they had earlier in the game. Doom finishing up Shiva's Guard. It's now on the way. Kernick starting to build towards his Aghanim Scepter, about 1500 gold. 2k gold on the Shadow Fiend. About 400 gold away from Solar Crest Revenge, if that's what she wants. She could go the Ags. Hit the wand, pushing out the bot lane with the Aegis again, and 2k gold. I wonder, this could be Manta, this could be Scotty, and I am lagging pretty seriously all of a sudden. I apologize, I don't know why that happened, but it seems to be fixed now, and hopefully that hiccup was just for me and not the players. And once again, I apologize if lag like that does happen. I will try to control it, but Kernick TPing out, and unfortunately no detection. They're unable to cancel it, so well played from him. And now Razor TPing into what could be trouble. He's amped up, now doomed up. He has his ult going, gets swapped. Death Prophet though swapping herself, Death Prophet though dropping her ult, and Venge swapping herself into the danger zone. But AA Blast on 4. They might try to turn this, but they do just try to run in the end. Slardar wants to go back in. He knows that these heroes are going to die very quickly. They're spending a lot of time on this Oracle though. The AA Blast has now ended, and Patibo might survive, but does still pop in the end. Lots of damage from the Shadow Fiend, the triple raise, but he goes down. Aegis still there, but now Doom getting eaten alive by these ghosts. And the heroes of Enclave backing off, happy with picking off this Slardar, but or are they? Now Shadow Fiend in trouble, gets soul siphoned up, trying to walk away, hit by the Atos, and he might just try to have to man fight this, but Death Prophet just too tanky, and now Darkseer there to get the kill, or not in the end. But the Death Requiem and the AA Blast might pick off this Death Prophet. This could be actually not quite the defense that they needed. Will we quite get it? No, barely able to survive. Actually, quite possibly thanks to the Glimmer Cloak. But now, good defense from Enclave, finding the 3 biggest kills on the enemy team. And Kernick, unfortunately, not able to get... Unfortunately, Megalodon not able to maximize that AA Blast on 3 heroes. They were pretty low and had already dedicated a lot of the resources. Aether Lens and Assault Cuirass picked up on the side of Enclave, so item progression for them looking pretty good so far. Slardar on his way to a BKB. Shadowfiend sitting on 4k, not quite sure what he's going to go. Doom also could go Axe, I suppose. Vengeful Spirit looks like she's farming up and might just, after this creep, be able to buy her Solar Crest. AA also very close to his Ags, and the 17-second duration of that Ice Blast could be devastating, but Darkseer making the right choice going for a pipe, but still a little ways off, and Vengeful Spirit picks up the Solar Crest, so even more minus armor on Megalodon, and that pipe might not be enough to save their heroes. They could just melt. We've seen how quickly even the Death Prophet just dissolves once hit by all this minus armor. And that fancy little staircase coming in handy. Actually never seen anyone walk on that. Atara in the danger zone, but fortunately they do not know that he's there, and now the big item for Megalodon, the Aghanim Scepter on the AA. I think this is actually the most important item for their team. The 17-second duration is going to be devastating to these supports who have very low health pools already, and very annoying to these core heroes too, who rely on healing, and it basically reduces, while they're affected by this, their maximum health pool by 12%. Or actually, in this case...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
No, not 12%. Sorry. 89%. No, wait, yeah, no, 11% less health. Not 89%. They're functioning at 89% health. Because once they hit 11%, they're dead. It's like... Megalodon might want to fight something, but this doesn't look like their time. With the Death Prophet ult and the Razor ult ready, they could just die to the area damage. So you need to pick this fight very carefully. Atara really wants it though. Not much backup there, just the Doom. So perhaps you should just back off Atara. This would be a very greedy jump. Kernick spotted out by a creep. Vengeful Spirit trying to find something here. Hit the wand, invisible, and going for the butterfly next, so I don't know if that dodges ghosts. I kind of doubt it, but will help him with the right-click damage of the Razor and give him a lot of armor to help survive the Death Prophet ghosts. Slardar BKB about 10 gold away, so yeah, he basically has that. Yeah, BKB complete on Slardar. Oh no, he still needs the Ogre Club, I think, unless it's on the courier. No, he still needs the Ogre Club. Mass King's coming out. GDR trying to ping his team back, or perhaps that was Razor. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it was Razor. Doom might be in trouble now, getting glimpsed back into the middle of the enemy team. Death Prophet ult committed, and he's going to get swapped out, but unfortunately not to safety. Now Vengeful Spirit going to die very quickly. A Blast committed, hitting on 2 heroes, and Razor is afflicted by it. He's going to try to TP out, but the vacuum to cancel. And now 3 heroes dead already for Megalodon, and Slardar in trouble. Perhaps jumping in a little ahead of himself, seeing that his team was dead, but the AA Blast canceling all that healing, although she was able to survive. Not enough damage dealt to kill her. Shadowfiend choosing not to go for the fight and just take a tower, but Death Prophet will be timing down, so they won't have it for the high ground push. They do have, and no Razor ult either, but no buyback on any heroes except the Doom, so this tower looks like it's going to go down, although maybe Shadowfiend's going to try to pressure them back, forcing the TP of the Oracle, who will probably just disarm him. Shadowfiend forced back, but maybe not, just continuing to push, knowing that the enemy team's still up there. I think Razor probably going to go Ags next. Will really help their pushing power, because without the Death Prophet ult, they can't push that hard.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And this Disruptor could be in trouble. 17-second duration, but Glimmer caved up, so might make his way out. Yeah, should be fine, should be fine. Oracle sitting on top of 2k gold. Could go, maybe try to go for a scythe, but Disruptor pops to the last tick of that AA blast. But Megalodon need to be more patient, I think. They got really ahead of themselves with that fight, and Doom very poorly positioned. They did not have any vision right here. Perhaps getting a little greedy, thinking like, okay, we're ahead, we can just dominate them. But unfortunately, not the case, and they lost 4 heroes because of it. Shadow Fiend still ahead of on top of the net worth by about 1.2k, but Death Prophet is now finally past the Slardar. BKB and Octarine Core completed roughly around the same time, so BKB for Slardar, Octarine Core for Death Prophet, so it's going to be absolutely critical that this AA Blast connects on the Death Prophet, or else she's going to be healing for a massive amount. Haste Rune bottom. AA very, very far from level 16, and that could be pretty big there. The damage would be really nice for them to have over the 17 seconds. It's actually a lot of damage. Smokes purchased up on the side of Enclave. Does anyone have one on the side of Megalodon? Nope, no smokes on Mega, so we'll see Roshan's respawn very, very soon now. It could be instant, or it could be a few more minutes. And I think Megalodon need to get that and put it on, honestly, either the Slardar or the Shadow Fiend. Both are really big heroes, and important that they survive in these fights, and very important that they get bursted down. And Vengeful Spirit going to quickly be picked off here. Glimpse back into the Lion's Den, and Death Prophet ult committed, and hopefully Slardar is just able to get out. They want to try to go in. Blink canceled. Gets the bad crush timing, and now Slardar in trouble. Able to walk away though, but Doom maybe not so lucky. Back wall on 3, fantastic play, but BKB forced out from the Shadow Fiend. Slardar dead, Doom dead, and Venge dead, and looks like Kernick not going to fare much better. This could be the game. They still have the Death Prophet ults. They have a tier 2 top, but nothing, just not the same at bot. The Death Prophet ult just ending, so possibly they'll only lose another rack. Buyback on the Doom, but AA down for 35, Slardar down for 40, and Venge not going to be back for a while, so this is definitely going to be a lane of racks. No way Shadow Fiend and them can defend this. And is this like a bug? Whoa. So, unfortunately, another lane of racks claimed for Enclave, and now Death Prophet with a BKB, so even harder to burst her down. Although the right clicks on Mega still very good, but this next Roche almost definitely going the way of Enclave. They may not have the minus armor, but they probably have the damage, so we're paused up, and now this is cheese as well. So this Roche, very, very important for both teams, and if Enclave find the Aegis, I would put the Aegis on the Razor and the cheese on the Death Prophet. I mean, Death Prophet doesn't do that much once her ult has been popped, so if she dies without her ult and comes back without her ult, she's not going to be nearly as a threat. Like, nearly as much of a threat to Megalodon. Razor sitting on 3k gold, gonna go Heart of Tarask, and they ultimately don't go the Roshan, perhaps with Megalodon's heroes respawning. They didn't want to risk throwing away their newly found gold lead. It was a very sharp turn in the graph. So just farming up on the side of Mega. They have decent wave clear with this Shadow Fiend, and even Slardar. Just the right clicks will be hard enough that they can clear out the waves, but Vengeful Spirit, no new items yet. Hit the wand, probably going for a Satanic. Better on him than, say, the Razor. I think Razor's going Heart though. Yes. I think if Razor has no ult and Death Prophet has no ult, is the time for Mega to fight. It's going to be hard to find that time because Enclave have done such a good job maximizing their ultimates. Like, they pop ultimates that look really inefficient but end up being fine anyway. And Roshan going to die very, very quickly once again, once the amp damage comes out on him, if it comes out on him. Yeah, he dies in just a few seconds, so this is Aegis and Cheese. Shadow Fiend picking up Cheese, but dropping it for the Aegis. Doom grabs Cheese. So this is good that Megalodon get that. They need that to alleviate their losses, their recent losses, and it'll make it a lot easier to take fights. Because if these fights last long enough, the Razor and DP won't have their ults, and then they lose a ton of damage. Because the supports on Enclave don't do that much damage. Of course, you have to be really, really worried about the wall. The replica damage just gets so high, but honestly, neither of these teams particularly right-click dependent. Well, that's not true. Megalodon's Shadow Fiend right-clicks very hard, and even Slardar right-clicks very, very hard. Vengeful Spirit in a bit of the dangers. No buyback. Let's actually check buyback status. Buyback on Shadow Fiend, buyback on Slardar, but otherwise no one on their team. And buyback on Razor, Death Prophet, and Darkseer. So most of these heroes do have buyback. Vengeful Spirit just farming up. Shadow Fiend comes in to get some last 1k surplus as buyback, and Enclave perhaps just content to let this Aegis time out. They don't want to risk, you know, taking a bad fight, getting hit 5 on the AA blast, and just losing a lot of hero. Okay, so how big is that? It's a really, really long range glimpse. Really long range glimpse. Still barely see it on my screen. Wow. Very, very long range glimpse. So Slardar's BKB sitting at 9 seconds. Shadow Fiend should be around 8. Yep. So GDR item progression also stalled, but the Shiva's gonna help him. The armor very, very good for his team, and this Venge aura plus the Vlad's aura providing a lot of damage for his teammates. So plus all this minus armor, these heroes hitting much harder than it appears. With the Wolf aura, plus the Vlad's, plus the Venge aura, Shadow Fiend hits for almost 400 a hit without the minus armor. So the heroes of Enclave might be in trouble. Although this Razor very, very tanky, but again with the AA blast plus all this minus armor, his health pool might not matter, although he does have 28 armor. But we'll probably have a lot less than that once the Slardar and Venge get a hold of him. So Scythe of Vice now completed on the Oracle. It's a very good pickup. Can lock down the Doom, who is without a BKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They want to defend this tower, though. Enclave positioned far back, waiting for them to try to rotate on the Razor so they can save him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dire's structures are
AA
fortified.
blast goes. Not connecting on anyone. So 30 seconds or so without the A blast, and Slardar picked up and now hit by the Disruptor ult. BKB on the Death Prophet ult committed a good back wall, catching on 3. Slardar doing lots of damage to the Oracle, but unfortunately not the hero they need to kill. Shadow Fiend BKB'd up, but it's not going to save him against these ghosts. And just melts, but Aegis coming back, but will his team be able to save him? No Venge. Slardar very low health, and Shadow Fiend going to die very quickly, not finding the crush, and now he's going to die. Really well positioned wall, preventing the heroes of Megalodon coming in to save their teammates, but AA Blast could catch, and unfortunately not going to find the kills. And Doom overstaying his welcome, getting blown up quickly. 3 buybacks on the side of Megalodon, and Enclave should just back off. This is more than enough for them. They find lots of kills, but silenced very quickly. Good play from the Death Prophet, but she might be in trouble. Really good vacuum from the Darkseer, forcing 2 on the cliff, and now Vengeful Spirit all alone, swapping down the Shadow Fiend though, trying to find these kills. He's armored up, and she does get the Oracle ult. Perhaps this is all she needs. She's going to heal up a lot from this at the end of the duration, but maybe too much damage, and yes, she does barely survive with Benjamin's the same, but will go down in the end to the Slardar, but Shadow Fiend diebacks into the game, and Slardar might share his fate. Chunking away at these heroes, but blown up by the Oracle burst damage. So really well played from Mega, and things are looking really well played from Enclave, and things are looking very, very good for them in this game. That fight could be what they needed, and things looking really poor with 2 of their important heroes down for over 80 seconds on the side of Megalodon.
Dire's top
And GG is called, so very well played from Mega. A couple missteps, and they lost the advantage they had accumulated.
Tower has fallen.
Dire's middle tower
Good.
has fallen.
Good. Mega played the mid game really well and did a really good job securing their Roshans. And Kernique on the Ancient Apparition just played very, very well. And his first 2 AA blasts of the game won his team 2 important team fights. But unfortunately, they made a few missteps fighting without AA blast and fighting without their full team. And perhaps didn't utilize the full effectiveness of their first and second Aegis. I think they had a pretty good snowbally advantage at that point, but failed to use it. And excited for game 2. Good draft, and this Death Prophet and Razor doing a lot of work. Doom had a really hard time in lane, but I think contributed pretty nicely to his team. So both of these teams playing very, very well, but Enclave able to make the most out of some mistakes. So I hope you join me for game 2 coming up very, very shortly. So it was a very good game. Waiting for the Captain's Mode lobby to come up. I wonder if it is up. So it is up now. Same password as last time. Broadcast channel. Alright, so teams are slowly funneling into the lobby, and I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom and drink some water.